Okay, so you're back from court, and if you can just let us know what state you're in.
Oh, I'm in Maryland.
Okay, you're in Maryland, and how did it go for you today?
It was really nice to go into court prepared, and the motion was very well written, and I was able to use it to state my position to the judge.
And were you the only one there with paperwork?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was.
I figured. And
I had the 3 files. One file had the motion. One file had some questions that I wanted to ask, and the 3rd file had a certified copy of my file, which was very useful.
and how many misdemeanors were you charged with?
I was charged with, well, one was a misdemeanor, and the other, they kept telling me was a traffic violation or an infraction. I tried to pin them down as to whether it was a criminal or a civil matter, and she kept saying it was neither. And that confused me because I had already had the impression that courts were either civil or criminal.
Yeah, well, we'll be able to slam them on that, because if obviously they don't know, we can't prepare defense as well. So, and which one was dropped?
Pardon?
Which charge was dropped when you first got there?
As soon as I went in, the judge said, I want to tell you that the willful disobedience charge has been dismissed.
Nice. And was that the most serious charge?
Yes, that held a $290 fine.
Nice. Nice. And when you went up there after you filed your motion, did you notice anything particular that the judge did when you filed your motion?
I was running late, so I took the motion into the clerk at the court, and then I went right upstairs to the courtroom. And when she called my name, I noticed she already had the motion in her hand. They had brought it right up to her. And when it came to be my turn, she said, I'm going to call a recess. I'm going to go look at this motion. And she left the bench for about 15 minutes.
And were you, in the end, were you last? Were you in the middle? Were you first?
I was maybe the 5th called, but when I told her I wanted to plead not guilty, she had me sit back down, and then she talked to me about 45 minutes later, while all the guilty people just went before me.
Right. So basically they charged everybody first, and then they said, okay, your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, and so eventually, when you cross-examined the cop, with the questions that I guess to the best of my ability, I was able to prepare, how did you feel when you started asking him the questions that you asked him?
I felt like they were a very good outline, and they were organized, and it was very interesting to ask those questions and to hear his answers.
And how did the cop react to the questions?
I noticed a few times he looked at the judge and kind of said, what should I say? But she didn't give him any clues. She just looked at him, and he had to answer my questions.
Did you notice if he was at least somewhat nervous?
Yes, I felt that he was quite nervous.
Nice.
I think it was because it was out of the ordinary course of events where everybody pleads guilty. When he started to have to wing it, he began to be quite nervous.
And what in your opinion, what would you tell other people that think that they should just plead guilty and at least not try to fight it? What would you what's your what would you tell those people, basically?
I would tell them to always say not guilty. And I noticed that the ones that did plead not guilty, they were the younger ones. One girl had come right straight from college, the 18, 22-year-olds. They said not guilty. And it was the ones that seemed to be more experienced in the ways of the world. They kind of walked in dejectedly and just said they were guilty. And I felt sad about that.
Yeah, they've been programmed to submit rather easily, I would say. And
yeah, and they just wanted to pay and get on with their life.
Unfortunately, that's how it usually goes. So, at least out of this whole time, how do you think that you did with the court and overall?
I was delighted to be in the court and feel like I was a part of the process, and I was able to raise questions that you don't normally hear about anywhere, and the judge was very courteous and listened to every word I said, every word that came from the motions. She considered it very well.
Yeah. So I guess you were found guilty of only one charge, correct?
Yes. She said, I'm going to find you guilty, and give you a fine.
Okay.
And when she said, I'll give you a probation for judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that I would prefer to appeal.
And how did she react to that when you said that?
I felt that she got a little uptight and told me she was going to give me 2 points in that case, and then she quickly left the bench.
Yeah, because when you appeal, you're basically going to talk to their boss and show how they're incompetent. So, are you excited to see how you're going to end up appealing this?
I'm extremely excited to see how it's all going to play out.
But in the long run, basically the most serious charge was dropped, though, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, well, I want to thank you very much for your time, because I know you're very busy, and I want to thank you for making this video with me, just to show other people that, you know, people in Maryland are also fighting back.
I want to thank you, too. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
Excellent work. Thank you so much.
Did you think, I mean, when you ended up reading the stuff that I had sent, was it different from what you thought it would be?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I really like the way the sentences are put together, and the content was right on, to the point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was comfortable backing it up.
Well, thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day, and I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.